We are back with our NFL DFS picks, and we are laser focused on why each play makes sense for the slate. Let's start at quarterback. We are going Jalen Hurts at 6,800 against the Chiefs, dash rank 100. Kansas City grayed out as one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent, rank of 29, and Hurts projects for 22 points, which is comfortably above his 18 fantasy points per game. He just posted 8 last week, which sets up a bounce-back spot at likely modest ownership. The why here is simple. Dual threat touchdown equity plus a soft overall matchup. The Super Bowl rematch news blurb about Philadelphia winning 20-17 on the back of dominant rushing from Hurts and Saquon Barkley underscores the rushing floor and ceiling. There is also an early season piece hitting the panic button on 5 quarterbacks, including Hurts. We lean into that sentiment for leverage because the underlying role and matchups still check out. Our second quarterback is Anthony Richardson at 4,700 against Denver, strictly a tournament punt. The Broncos have a tough defense overall with an opponent rank of 1, and his projection is modest. But the case is salary plus rushing upside. News has called out a rocky start and struggles to establish himself, and that uncertainty, plus the lack of 3 starts this season, makes his projection less reliable. We are banking on athleticism and variance at a sub-5,000 tag, and he should be virtually unowned. On to running backs. Christian McCaffrey at 7,500 versus the Saints is a core spend. Dash rank 100, opponent rank 17, which is a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, projected for 19 with 23 fantasy points per game, and 23 last week. The why is elite touch count and elite receiving usage that keeps him on the field in every script. 2 timely notes support the play. First, he just joined the ultra-rare club of 50 rushing touchdowns and 30 receiving touchdowns, reinforcing sustained red zone and pass game usage. Second, DFS Pro Mike McClure flagged him as a top Week 2 play, aligning expert process with our metrics. With ownership hovering around 1%, we get both floor and slate-breaking ceiling at low popularity. For our second running back, we like James Conner at 6,600 against Carolina. The Panthers grade as one of the worst defenses overall, with an opponent rank of 23. He projects for 15, averages 13 per game, and posted 14 last week. The why is volume and role stability. Conner reliably racks up touches, and in a game where Arizona can lean on the ground, he brings touchdown equity and a solid path to 20+ at what should be virtually no ownership. Wide receiver time. CeeDee Lamb at 7,800 versus the Giants is our pay-up. Dash rank 100, opponent rank 25, which is one of the worst defenses overall, 18 projected with a 22 fantasy points per game baseline. He put up 11 last week after a sloppy opener that drew headlines about drops, which makes this a classic buy low. The matchup, target share, and quarterback connection all align for a ceiling rebound at low single-digit ownership. For value, Tyler Johnson at 3,200 against Buffalo offers salary relief. The Bills have one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 31. He projects for 5 and just gave us 5 last game. The why is cheap exposure to a soft overall matchup, and he should be virtually unowned, which helps unlock studs elsewhere. At tight end, Dalton Kincaid at 3,700 versus the Jets is our preferred mid-tier. Dash rank 100, opponent rank 30, which is one of the worst defenses overall. Projected 7 with 11 fantasy points per game, and 9 last week. The why is growing role and consolidation in high-leverage areas. After last season's AFC title game, Sean McDermott publicly discussed future plans for Kincaid, and the broader narrative around the position highlights an influx of dynamic young tight ends. We expect continued usage and red zone looks in a soft overall matchup. Our second tight end is Connor Hayward at 2,500 against Seattle. The Seahawks grade as one of the worst defenses overall, with an opponent rank of 21. This is a pure punt to buy studs, and the why is simple. Path to a handful of targets at stone minimum in a beatable overall matchup. Flex spot, we like Harold Fannin Jr. at 3,100 against Baltimore. The Ravens are listed with the absolute worst defense overall at an opponent rank of 32. He projects for 7, averages 12 fantasy points per game with 14 last week. The why is athletic upside plus early opportunity, and camp and draft coverage has been bullish, including notes that the Browns' third-round tight end could deliver fireworks. He should be virtually unowned and fits as a salary saver with real ceiling. If you need a second value flex, Andrew Beckett 4,000 against Buffalo is a deep dart. The Bills are one of the worst defenses overall with an opponent rank of 31. The why is pure leverage and salary relief in a soft overall matchup, acknowledging role volatility. He will come in around 1% owned, making him a differentiation piece in large fields. Defense. Cincinnati Bengals at 2,900 against Minnesota profile as our favorite value D. The Vikings show the absolute worst defense overall with an opponent rank of 32, and the Bengals project for 6 after posting 7 last game. The why is price, recent production, and a chance to capitalize on short fields and mistakes at low ownership around 1%. For a bargain pivot, Cleveland Browns defense at 2,200 versus Green Bay offers cap relief. The Packers have a tough defense overall with an opponent rank of 4, but we are here for price-driven flexibility and the fact that Cleveland just delivered 4 last week. The why is saving salary without punting the position, enabling a stars and scrubs build anchored by studs like McCaffrey and Lamb. Quick recap of the core: Jalen Hurts for dual threat upside in a soft overall matchup, backed by recent rushing dominance news. Christian McCaffrey for elite role and low ownership validated by both milestone production and expert picks. CeeDee Lamb is a buy low against one of the worst defenses overall. Dalton Kincaid for ascending usage in a plus overall matchup. Harold Fannin Jr. as a high upside salary saver. And Bengals D as the value defense. Good luck this week, and let us know your favorite contrarian play in the comments.